Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two American bourbon whiskeys and a guest star. Orangey. You might hear her purring. You rang that bell to come in, huh? This is a feral cat. Go ahead, get there. And she likes to come in. I don't know whose cat she is. She didn't even know about humans last year. She was wild, trying to bite, scratch, run from me, run away, but kept coming around. But she's been hanging around this house for about 2 years. I didn't ever feed her. She would just eat something. Obviously, I didn't want to feed her because I didn't want her hanging around really, except to kill mice and rats. So yeah, hang around. But then the old lady around the corner, sort of across the street, really, because I'm close to the corner, started feeding the cats. I said, don't do that because they're not going to leave. Then she died. The lady died last year, 91 years old. So then the cat's sitting out by her house, waiting for the food. And I said, she's not going to come back and feed you. So I started doing it. So that's where the trouble started. But I hung a bell outside the back door. So I was getting ready to do this video and she started ringing the bell to come in. She hits it. She can't get her fingers and ring it like a human, but she bats it with her hand. Bing, 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 bing. I said, okay. All right. Anyway, enough of the feral orange cat story. Here is the bourbon. It's dawn. Is it dawn yet? No, but I see a glint of light. I'm gonna have to start using the lamp because dawn is coming too late. There's America's Outlaw Bourbon, Jesse James from American Outlaw Spirits, Jesse James Dupree. This is made somewhere in America and it's bottled in California. 700. Oh, and this is a 2-year age bottle. Most of the bottles you'll find are going to say age 3 years. For whatever reason, this is a 2-year age. If you look at the website, it says 3 years. Was it an early release? I don't know. The thing's been around since 2011. This bottle doesn't seem like it's 11 years old, but I got this at Savannah Discount. Liter bottle, $7.99. True story. 1 liter, $7.99. Can't explain it except that I saw it and I bought it. All right. If you look online, different liquor stores, they'll sell it the 750 milliliter. I'm talking about the regular size, but about $18 for the regular size bottle. So I got the extra size bottle for $7.99. All right. Now here's Cooper's Craft. Beech and birch. They use beech and birch wood charcoal to filter it. You know how Jack Daniels is mellowed through, my nose is itchy with this hair. You know how Jack Daniels is mellowed through charcoal, sugar maple charcoal in Tennessee. And people claim that's why it's not a bourbon, it's a Tennessee whiskey because they drip it through charcoal. Totally irrelevant to what bourbon is, okay? This one's dripped, mellowed, as you want to call it, dripped through beech and birch wood, a mixture of beech and birch charcoal. Still a bourbon. It's from Kentucky. It's 82.2 proof, meaning 100, meaning 4. I don't know where that came from. Meaning 41.1% alcohol, 41.1. There is a bottled and bond version, which I don't have. Also, this was introduced in 2016. May have been early released in 2015, but I think it went to the mass market in 2016. And it's from Brown-Forman, the same people who make Jack Daniels and Old Forester. Okay, a family-owned company. So Cooper's, S apostrophe, not apostrophe S, S apostrophe, meaning plural. Their craft. You say, but Cooper's don't make bourbon. They make bourbon barrels. Exactly. They've been making their own bourbon barrels in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, since 1945. Now, those guys, a cooper is someone who makes barrels. Those guys probably drink a fair amount of bourbon. But you say, well, that's just a marketing thing. Well, yeah, exactly. Like most of these products, it's all a marketing thing. What do you think Jesse James is? It's a marketing thing. You know, it's fine. I don't care. That's how you sell your products. You market them. All right. It's an embossed bottle. It says, what matters most? We do bourbon. We do. Oh, it says, what matters most? We do ourselves. Oh, I got that bottle at Mathern's for $9.99. I'm not kidding. I saw it. I never knew anything about it except I saw a billboard. We know when it first came out in 2016. I was in New Orleans for some reason on the interstate, and I saw this billboard, and it said Cooper's Craft, and I said I don't know what that is. I said it's obviously something new, and I said they're trying to make it look like it's some independent company. I said this to myself while I was in the vehicle, the Dodge Avenger. I said, but I bet you it's owned by some big company, and as it turns out, it is. $9.99 for Cooper's Craft. They're both copper, so the appearance is the same. You say, well, isn't that normally like $24? Yes. So the normal price for Cooper's Craft is $24. When I found that out, I went back to Mathern's and immediately bought it for $9.99 because I said, they're going to sell out because they had like 10 bottles I saw. By the time I got over there, they had like 6 bottles left. The next day, they had none. I mean, if you have a $24 bottle of whiskey, bourbon whiskey, and you sell it for $9.99, it's not going to last. It's going to be gone in one day. And that's exactly what happened. So what's the price difference here? About $6. 24, let's say 24 for Cooper's Craft and 18 for Jesse James. That price will fluctuate a little bit, but around that 24 versus $18. Okay. We know Cooper's Craft is at least 4 years old because there is no age statement, and any whiskey in America that has no age statement must be at least 4 years old. That's the law. I think somewhere on the website, they tell us that it's aged like 6 to 8 years, something like that. You know, it's a range. But they don't choose to put that on the website. You know, they don't put it on the bottle. So it's just them, you know, it's no use talking about it. A lot of times with these companies, if you look at their videos that they make or their frequently asked questions, it'll give you a range. Kind of like that Tomat and Dualkus, the Legacy Dualkus Scotch single malt. If you look at the bottle, there's no age statement. But if you do all this research, it'll give you a range. It's between this and that many years old. But it's too much work to try to find that out, really. And I'm talking about official ranges, not, well, I know somebody that says it's that old. Yeah, you know somebody? Who is that person? Oh, I can't say. Okay, well, then it doesn't count. All right. It'd be like a phantom said it. It should be ignored. Like when the news media says, an anonymous source says, Donald so-and-so did this and did that. Well, who said it? Oh, we can't say. Well, then it didn't happen, okay? So it's just made up. I could say that I'm vice president of the world, okay? An anonymous source says that me, have been elected vice president of the world. You say, that's true? Yeah, it's true. Who says that? Oh, I can't say who says it. Robert Foote, never tried Cooper's, but I've heard relatively good things. It's in a lot of liquor stores, though. Yeah, it's common. Hold on a second. I made it a practice on this channel to never quote or post unofficial information. If I post the IBUs for a beer, the bitterness units for a beer, it's going to be an official number that was either from the company or the distributor who is getting the information from the company. It's not going to be, oh, well, Untapped says, yeah, but Untapped is not official. All right. When I first tried Cooper's Craft, I wasn't too thrilled and I gave it a B minus, okay? Or maybe it was a B, 83, but I think it was an 82, B minus. I don't know, it was just something about it that was that great. You know what I mean? A little off. Olive Fire says, I want to get myself some Cooper's Craft. It's worth it. Now, but my score has climbed as I've tasted through it. Now, so I'll have to look for the unusual qualities in this, okay? I don't know what I'm looking for, but just I got to think about whatever whiskey has the weirdness to it, that's the Cooper's Craft. Jesse James is just standard. It's just like any bourbon, like it could be any bourbon, except it's kind of bland, you know, but it has a charcoal. You say, well, it was a bourbon charcoal, no joke. Yeah, but that's like the only noticeable quality. It's kind of bland. Some people like bland things. Well, most people I know like bland things. So you say, oh, Louisiana, everybody eats fiery hot food. Wrong. Might have been true 40 years ago that a lot of people ate fiery hot food down here. It probably wasn't a majority then. And it's definitely a very small minority now, okay? Most of the Hispanic people I know don't eat fiery hot food. I'm like, you want some hot sauce? Oh, no, they don't want any hot. They say that's just a myth, you know. It's like a lot of things. People will say it, and then they think everybody's that way. Like some New Orleans expression. They say, oh, that's how y'all speak down there. Everybody says making groceries. I never heard anybody say that growing up, okay, making groceries. In other words, go shopping, going to go buy some groceries, going to go shop. Maybe I heard a couple of old people say that in 1980. People that were 80, born in 1900, say, I'm going to make groceries. I don't think I really ever heard that. I think I might have heard it. But to say that's a common statement, I grew up outside of New Orleans. My town is 20 miles west of New Orleans. And I never heard anybody say that. Maybe in the Ninth Ward, they commonly said it. I didn't grow up around there. So now I heard my parents used to say mayonnaise, which to me was bizarre. You know, like, what do you mean mayonnaise? It's mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. I had more of a standard American approach to that. Mayonnaise, not mayonnaise. Okay. Corn. Also corn. Now, am I picking up a big difference in the nosing, as we say, in the elite bourbon tasting world? We call it a nosing. See, because I'm an elitist. No, I'm not really picking up much difference. But it is a taste challenge, not a smell challenge. But the thing about that is sometimes I can guess it on aroma only. With some of these products, I can smell, say, boom, that's it, boom, that's that. This is not one of those times. Taste. It's just like sweet corn, you know, like distilled sweet corn distillate aged in a charred oak barrel. Now, I'm not trying to be flip or sarcastic. That's literally what it tastes like, because that's literally what it is. It seems to be a pretty heavy char note, and I think Cooper's Craft talks about that. You know, I think they even give the mash bill on there. And let me go back to that. I'm not quite sure. That's why I'm going back to that. And I certainly can't remember. Cooper's Craft. Gentle flavor profile, well balanced. Aficionados and newcomers will appreciate this remarkably smooth and inviting bourbon, so forth. Okay, they just said that. They always give descriptions I never taste. Light toasted and fresh oak character. I got that. I said that on the initially. Baked apple sweetness and citrus custard. I smelled no baked apple, no citrus custard. I don't even know what citrus custard is. A true sipping bourbon with soft lemon custard and baked apple notes layered over a bed of toasted and fresh oak character, seasoned with a light dusting of spice. They got a lot better ability to taste than I do, obviously. There's a new label for this too, by the way. About 3 years ago, they came out with a new label. It's not vastly different, but it's different. I won't go into a description of it at this time. You might go to a liquor store and see both labels. I see that sometimes. I'll have the old and the new next to each other. No, I don't see the mash bill. Nutrition information. All right. So no, never mind. All right. Scotch has to be, okay, Rob says Scotch has to be at least 3 full years in oak barrels by Scottish law, so it's not unlike bourbon. That's right. Except bourbon doesn't have an age requirement. Isle of Fire says, I love fiery, spicy food. I don't know why, except that I actually feel better physically as well as mentally. Apparently, the natural ingredients in hot peppers are really good for the heart. Or the capsaicin, that's chemical capsaicin, probably is. I feel a lot better now since I stopped drinking soft drinks like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, RC Cola, and all that stuff. I started drinking beer, wine, and liquor. Now, you see people are going to take that the wrong way, and some people are fanatics, and they'll say, well, that means I can just drink all day long and go berserk and be excessive. I didn't say anything about that. Okay, because I'm not excessive with it. I don't think I am. Do I have days where I maybe go overboard? Yeah, of course. But I don't think it's too often. And it's just more, to me, for me, I'll speak for me, healthier for me. All those, because you have less chemical additives in beer, wine, and liquor. And that's the truth. Now, whether people want to, contest that. All right. I'm getting the charred oak over here, but it's like mild. Everything this has, but it's mild, mild, mild. If you want to say bland, okay. I can't stand pop, aka soda, etc. Soda pop, soft drinks as they call them in Louisiana. Yeah. I used to like them, but I was younger. It's kind of like in the Bible where St. Paul says, when I was a child, I thought as a child. But now I'm not a child anymore. I'm an adult, so I think as an adult. So I think that's true for this. I just matured away from all that baby food. You know what I mean? All right, children's food. You say, well, a lot of adults drink soft drinks. I know a lot of adults act like children. I don't mean every adult that drinks Pepsi is a child. You know what I'm saying, though? This has got to be the Cooper's Crafts. It's got more, if you want to say, cachet to it. I'm not saying it's a better product. It's different, though. It has more of a wood approach, charred oak approach, and that is more, I guess we could say, a bolder flavor. Now, I don't know about all this lemon custard and all these things you're talking about. I don't have the ability to pick that up. I'm not trained as a sommelier, all right? I'm not like Chef in Apocalypse Now. I'm not trained as a saucier. I'm not a consigliere. Like Jinko. All right. Is it $6 better? Yeah, it's hard to say because it's really not better quality because some consumers are going to say, I want it mild. I want it very mild. Okay, well then go with the Jesse James America's Outlaw Bourbon. If you want a bolder, okay, I'll concede. All right, I'm giving it. If you want a bolder flavor, as they say on the website, go with the Cooper's Craft. $6. I'm not gonna say it's $6 better. I don't believe that. But you're gonna have to pay $6 more to get it, and if you want to taste it, you're just gonna have to pay. And it's gonna be different. Are these wildly, vastly different? Yeah, I would go along with that. They're pretty different from one another just because of the heavy charred oak versus the not so heavy charred oak. Well, the news is approaching. I'll have to go listen to the lies. A Coke and bourbon, for example, man, nah, I would simply prefer the bourbon, says Isle of Fire. Same here. If I never drank Coke or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper, etc., for the rest of my life, would I miss it? No, I wouldn't really miss it. I mean, I like the taste, but it just makes me feel bad. Like, I don't like it. Okay, I'm past that. I'm going to call it, I think this is Cooper's Craft. Haha, I got it right. So, I got it wrong twice in this whole Taste Challenge series. Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon versus all the rest. But I got it correct most of the time so far. And I got 3 challenges left: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Next 3 days. You say, what's next? Jim Beam. Haha. And Jim Beam smells and tastes like cellar mold and green wood. I'm not saying it as a negative. No, it's just weird. Black cellar mold. Then I got the Jim Beam Prohibition Repeal, introduced 4 years ago. And then to close out, I've got this bourbon from Brooklyn, New York, of all places. Yeah, not a straight bourbon either. Just like Jesse James is not straight bourbon. Straight bourbon has an age requirement. Regular bourbon does not. Does not. You could theoretically have bourbon aged only 6 months, and it's legal. And I've seen that, actually. Have a good rest of your day, Ron. Cheers. Cheers back to you, Isle of Fire, and cheers back to everybody. Y'all take care now.